Hello, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to Lake of Voices. Last time I fumbled with a quick time event and the main character Kika ended up dead. So I went back to the point where I messed up, and I'm trying to make it through this whole journey to wherever I'm supposed to go. So, the bridge has just collapsed from underneath me, and I've been separated from the guide and the melee, and I was thinking about, or the previous choice that I've had at this point was that, do I trust the guide and his directions to go west, or should I go somewhere else? So, let's go. No, I can't allow doubt to take control. We've known from the beginning that there is only one path that has led travelers to safety, his, and I will take the guide on his word. Without wasting an additional moment, I make my way across the western bridge. I walk at a moderate brisk pace, not wanting to risk tripping or running out of energy in the moments where I need it. Okay, I think I can skip. Yeah, and we go past the thing. There was a prowler thingy coming from one of the side bridges there, so we ran past it, and I have faith that following the same path I've been is for the best. I steel myself and build up my speed. I get closer and closer to the branch with the lurching threat and pick up my pace, so I'm sprinting. I hear gurgling hiss as I pass through the crossroads. I must have been close enough to be pained by the light. I barely made it. And from now on, I do not want to skip, because the point where I messed up earlier was really quick, so... However, I didn't hear any splash. It's still nearby. I look behind me to see if at least decided to come no further, and it's right there. Horrified, I realize that it's pointedly following me. It's no longer mindlessly dragging itself through blackness. I have become its target. Its limbs bend wildly and unnaturally. It looks as though it's only barely keeping itself upright as its torso wobbles on its hips. That isn't stopping it from giving chase. I focus my view back ahead and continue to run. My breathing rapidly becomes ragged. I can still hear the squishing footsteps of the prowler behind me as it lunges its body forward in that unnatural gait. Without warning, the bridge lurches to one side. Ooh, and here we go! Catching me completely off guard, I lose my footing and slam into the damp surface of the bridge. My light falls with me, painfully snuffing out. Splashes and the excited stirring of many voices come from the lake. Why? How? Is it rotting, or did they push the support beams? I'm left with no time to ponder the mystery as the monster draws near. I scramble back onto my feet as it closes in. Grabbing my dark lantern, I resume running to put some distance between us again. I open the latch on the lantern and pull out the match. I'll have to slow down, at least briefly, to properly light the flame without it blowing out. With the death still on my heels, I must not let one precious moment be wasted. Set on my plan, and with everything in hand, I begin to decrease my pace. Light the lantern. There we go! That's what I messed up last time, because my cursor was somewhere. I don't even know where, and my hand was off the mouse, so I ran out of time. Moving as fast as I am capable, I place a lit match inside the lantern and the oil catches fire. As the flame grows, I can hear the awful footsteps behind me begin to peter out. I steal a glance behind me. It has truly stopped. The return of light seems to catch it off guard, and thankfully it declines, coming closer. Run. After a moment's reprieve to breathe. Reprieve? Yeah? I rush forward once more. Fighting isn't an option, and I need to get away from that monster. I'm not able to run fast enough, however. No! What the fuck? I let out a loud scream as the prowler latches onto my body from behind. I'm thrown to the ground again. The shock is great, and the lantern slips from my hand, skidding across the bridge out of my reach. Because it came in contact with the light, the prowler drops itself back into the depths without attacking again. Oh, thank God. There is no time to feel relieved. Arms of other Nixie emerge from the water and reach up the side of the bridge, scraping the boards as they try to get me. I try to climb up onto my feet, but one of the creatures takes hold of me before I can properly stand. I'm dragged back down to the ground, my jaw smashing hard against the bridge as the Nyx blindly pulls me towards the edge. Other slimy clawed hand grabs onto me as I jam my nails hard into the crevice in the bridge. Oh, sounds painful. I kick frantically at their silhouettes, but they keep pulling me closer to the edge. I curl my fingers around the uneven wood tighter. Despite all my effort, there is no support. My bloody, splintered fingers come loose. Wow, shit! Water engulfs my vision, heavy and cold, so thick I can't even hear my own thrashing. I try to grab my sword, try to fight back, but I can't even get it out of the hilt. The resistance against me is all encompassing. Something grabs my arm, then my wrist. I get pulled from side to side, or further down, first one way, then another. The water feels like solid substance being dragged against it. It is like I'm being pressed through something. My vision grows darker and darker. I can't tell whether I'm going lower or whether I'm losing consciousness. My arms flail to bring me closer to whatever the surface is, but nothing is working. Complete darkness engulfs me. Was everything I've done worth it? I must believe it was. Okay, same conclusion. One more time. Gonna load from the same place and skip. Dun 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 dun. Go past and skip, light the lantern and skip and try to stare it down this time. I managed to calm my mind down from the commotion and recall what the guide said when we first encountered the prowler. You don't have to run or fight, you only need to keep moving while keeping an eye on it. I can't keep running forever. I actually had completely forgotten that I don't need to run. Huh. I can't keep running forever, and doing so only seemed to invigorate them further. Okay. I fix my stare on it, forcefully as the creature recoils from my relit lantern. Moving at a steady but brisk pace, I continue forward, making sure to check behind me often. It creeps at a distance, however, things make no more dramatic attempts to engage with me, choosing only to lurk. Okay, good. I'm set on edge by its presence, but in a way it's strangely beneficial. It makes it harder to get lost within my own mind when the tension in the air is so high. Reaffirming my goals, I go down bridge after bridge, making my way to what I can only hope is the way out. Eventually the brawler halts as the precipice of one of the branches. Frustrated, it paces back and forth on the border as though something is physically stopping it from going further. I decide to take that as a good omen. This journey of mine returns to one of isolation, even the whispers of sin loss have ceased. Oh, is the morning coming? Suddenly I realize through the fog the black sky is turning dark blue. Dawn is beginning to rise. At this point, there is no use keeping up my strength. I sprint down the bridge, going faster and faster as I hold out for some sort of sign, anything. Eventually I receive one. The silhouette of land peeks into my field of vision. I can scarcely believe it as I blink away the tears. With renewed sprint, I press down the bridge with increased speed, desperately trying to outpace the sun. The glowing orb peeks into view against the obscured sky and begins to ascend unfailingly. With each step, the sky brightens ever so slightly more. I race through the oppressive fog and there's a voice in the distance. It isn't horrifying sounds of monsters looming. It's Bemele. He's calling out for me. I shout back to him through the dark, foggy void. My voice comes out as horribly weak wheeze between deep, shaky breaths. I'm almost certain he couldn't hear me. I'm not bothered by that, however. I will find him. I'm coming, Bemele. Please, just wait for me. I keep running against the increasing light, and his figure comes into view, here, on the bridges. Hello? Bemele races towards me at high speed, and doesn't slow down when he gets near. He grabs hold of my side and supports my throbbing frame as I slow to stop. I barely choke out a sentence as I strain to catch my breath.
Why are you here?
Very good question.
I was looking for you, of course. I knew you had to be nearby. You had to be. Don't worry over it. I wasn't reckless enough to go in the dark. I waited until there was some sun and stayed on one path.
Smart boy. He grins at his own planning skill. I grow cross at his risky behavior.
The bridges could have sunk.
Despite the admonishment, I'm terribly relieved to see him again.
You're free to give me a proper lecture some other time. Right now, I'd say it's time for us to get out of this damned place. Are you still able to run?
No, but we have to do it anyway. I put all my weight back onto my feet and nod at him confidently, though my legs still lightly quake beneath me. Bemele gives me a reassuring smile, something I had come to believe I would never get to see again.
Don't worry, we're nearly there.
I provide a battered smile in return. The two of us stare across the bridges in the direction Bemele points out, and just as he promised, the end comes into view. Against all odds, we both make it. I nearly tumble off the bridges onto solid ground. I crouch on the ground and lay my head between my legs, unable to stand. I rest there quietly for a few moments, taking time to allow my breathing and emotions to settle down. Finally, I look up from my lap and see Bemele standing ahead of me. Both of our eyes are flowing with tears. Bemele walks over and sits down in the dirt nearby. He gazes deeply into my eyes with a gentle smile gracing his lips. No words needed to be exchanged between us to know what the other is thinking. I'm glad for it, because I'm not sure I would be able to speak even if I needed to. The sound of sloshing and wood lurching captures our attention as the bridges begin to sink. In a few minutes, only the lonely dock is left. With that, the guide walks towards me.
It is time to leave this place. There is nothing left for you here.
Oh? Upon being addressed by him, I rise to my feet. He has a calm look on his face, though there is a force behind his serenity. I open my mouth in an attempt to speak. However, I quickly realize I have little idea of what to say. Do I thank him for this? Should I give him my trust? Was our survival because of him or despite him? Even now I cannot know for certain. And then the fog is removed from my thoughts. After everything that has happened, it becomes clear. I harden my face to match his serious disposition. There is something he is certainly right of. This lake isn't the place to linger. Going round and round in circles will never help. We cannot submit our lives or our minds to sin loss. For better or for ill, there is only one person who can help those once they are within its grasp, the guide. If he were removed, the place would be no safer. What I must do, if I truly want to defend others, is keep them from coming here at all. When I return to my village, I intend to make that information acutely known to our elder. For that to happen, we must leave.
Goodbye.
His eyes narrow as he looks over me. I begin to feel uncomfortable under his scrutiny, but for a moment I could swear I noticed him smiling slightly. However, it could easily be the trick of the morning sun. I look away to face Bemele, not wanting to get caught up in this any longer.
Bemele, we're leaving.
He lifts his head at my voice and grins, though his expression quickly sours into a frown. He shows no eagerness to move forward and keeps his distance. He still feels regret that it's only us who are leaving. I empathize greatly with him, knowing that feeling is the one we will never escape from, even after this lake is far behind us. However, he manages to weakly smile again.
Those words are music to my ears. Let's head out.
Bemele walks towards the forest without even acknowledging the guide. That is for the best on the whole. We must get away from here. It saddens me to think Bemele doesn't even have the strength to become angry, though perhaps he had an epiphany about this lake in the same way that I did. We will be able to discuss that on another occasion. Despite the firmness I so intently tried to have, my heart starts to waver. Margaret, Lou, they're both still here. I wish to give them a proper farewell. I want to do something. My eyes begin to water and I almost turn back around. No, it's done. I need to remember that. They would never want me to ascribe their lives to sin loss. Nothing would disgrace their memory more. I will keep them in my thoughts without allowing the lake to poison me. With my steadfastness truly regained, I marched into the light with no hesitation. With a solemn heart, I at last arrived at Hemmer. They were grateful to see me, for it was a desperate situation indeed. The urgency meant that my mind was occupied with other matters. I worked tirelessly to aid Hemmer's own guards in forcing back the brigadiers. But during the moments of calm and when the sun went down, I would remember the lake. Bemele was a great help during the fight. His outwardly positive demeanor lifted the spirits of many around him, but I could see from the shadows in his eyes that he hadn't forgotten what we went through. Nor could I miss the distance that had grown between us. He spoke fewer words to me, and I never gave him many either, yet he seemed stronger than I had seen before. I admire his will. When receiving payments for his services, the guide must give a report of all those who both succeeded and failed to cross the lake. The name and fate of Margaret soon became known in Hemmer. I added that she was an intelligent, thoughtful person and urged them to show respect for her passing. I hope that one day I will have the opportunity to go to her hometown and give my own proper respects. His retelling of events had little to say of Lou. I know that is because he was not meant to be there and was never one to open up, but it still saddens me to face how I never truly got to know who he was. I can only pray that those who cared for him will learn the truth of what happened. I have not heard nor seen the guide since then. He will remain obscured in that realm of fog and fear, a mysterious light off in the distance that is ever out of reach of the real world. I worry about when I must return home to my usual life. It will be difficult to continue as things were before. One thing I know for certain is that my village elder must be told that no one is to cross Sinless again. I have already told the Himmer leaders the same. Not a single more person should have to experience what we did. Its darkness remain with me for the rest of my days. Though so much was lost, I try to believe that our lessons will keep others from suffering the same way, and in the end, something will be gained. Okay. Achievement unlocked, lost. Alright. Now we finally fully completed the game. What? This is an interesting concept. Very much of a visual novel, but those kind of quick time events do give this its own flair and own little taste and well, yeah. Obviously whatever you choose will actually affect the story mostly by bringing it to an abrupt and gruesome end. But I really liked this. I really did, and oh my god, the music is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I don't know the prologue text or whatever instruction thingy there was right in the beginning said that there was something to do. Thank you for playing. Well, thank you for making this game. That there was like some choices that what I've made down the road would affect on how people would see me later. Like, was there a possible relationship thingy, love triangle possible there in the end? We don't know. This is probably one of those games that I will get back to on my own time and, try to get more of the achievements and try to find the different storylines and try out, for example, right in the beginning or somewhere in the middle of the first patch of bridges, that what if we put Margaret to the end of the line, will she survive? Like, yeah, we cannot save everyone, but if we could try and save as many as possible. Like, is Margaret doomed to die anyway? That's what I would like to know, and also what will happen if we take that Lou person with us, and all of that. Will I die if I don't trust the guide and go somewhere else? All of that. Interesting game. Truly lovely and beautiful art style, and yes, I've said it 1,000 times, but I love this music. I really do. I have a soft spot for piano music, I really do. But yeah, this episode is a bit of a shorter one, but I guess that's okay. I've had some super long gaming episodes recently, so I will end this here. Thank you so much for watching this series. If you liked it, let me know. If you want me to play more of this, let me know that as well down in the comments. I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you again next time.